Hey everybody, welcome back to Board Games with the Family. We're going to start our gameplay run through of Gravwell. So I've reset the board. I'm trying not to show you the left hand side over here because I've got the cards laid out so I can see what the other players are doing. We are going to pretend that we are the yellow player, okay, and this is the point of view of the game that I'm going to try and show you from. I'll try not to reveal what the cards the other guys have got. I've already done the draft, as you can see, purely because doing it with one hand while I'm trying to hold the camera just isn't going to work very well. What I might do in a later round, I might kind of try and reveal the thinking process behind why I've chosen certain stacks for certain players, but to be honest, I'm not an expert at this game. Please don't take this as a game, as a how to be an expert Gravwell player. This is just me showing you how I play the game. And I think to date, I don't think I've ever actually won this game. So make of that what you will. So we will start now. So they've done the draft, and yellow will pick the card first, just because that's what we're going to do. So right at the beginning of the game, there is only one place you can move, which is forward. So you want to play a yellow card because the only ships on the board at the moment are in front of you. And in fact, so if you're here, it's worthwhile playing a high card. Particularly when one thing that I try and do in a draft is try and get different card types. If you only got yellow ones, then you're kind of hampered in your strategy. So I've got a bit of protection here. If I find myself miles in the lead, then I know I can try and play the repulsor card or the tractor beam to try and maneuver myself compared to everybody else. So I'm going to hold Zirconium back a little bit, and I'm actually going to play Yttrium. Forgive me if I've pronounced that wrong. It's just the furthest card I've got. I might as well get off to a decent start. So essentially I'd play that face down on the board, or near the board, and then the other two players would choose. And I'm not going to give this a huge amount of thought. That'll be the black card, and that will be the red card. And again, I'm kind of playing against myself here, so it's going to be weird. We're going to have the similar strategies. But now we'll reveal them all. So that's the red card. That's a black card. And that was the yellow card that we played. So, which one goes first? I believe R is first. That was black. So black's going to move forward 9 spaces, which puts him there. As every 5 spaces, by the way, I don't know if you can see, they are marked. So obviously that's a 10 space. So now red moves. So red would move 9, but remember you can't land on a ship, so he's going to move there. These 2 cards get discarded into a discard pile, which I will just put there so I can pick them up easily. I'm playing on kind of it's almost a writing desk surface, which kind of quite hard to grab cards off. And then finally, sorry to digress there, yellow moves. He moves 8 spaces. Puts them there. Nice and simple start. Okay, so remember this is still round 1, so this is the second movement phase of the first round. So again, we'll start with our logic for the yellow player. Now this is an interesting one. So he's at the back. So he kind of wants to move quite early, because you could say, well, you should play Zirconium and he'll move. The problem there, he's going to move last. Now at the moment, if red happens to move first, he's going to move backwards. And then black might move backwards, and then yellow will get dragged all the way back. So, let's have a look. The highest card we can play is Boron. It will only move 2 spaces. But we know we're probably, unless someone's got the A card, but the A, if you look down here, the A card only moves you 1 space anyway. So it's not massively likely someone will play it. I think, or we could try and take the risk and move 4 spaces with the... That's not going to focus. It's lithium anyway. It's the L. No, I think we're going to stick with that one. So we're going to stick with the boron, which I'll put there. Let's choose for black. So black's in the middle at the moment. Excuse me. I'm just having a look at what black's actually got. Black doesn't have a whole lot of choice. Black is going to play that card. And then red remembers that our front So red's got an interesting choice. If he moves first, he's going to move backwards. If he tries to move last, he could hope. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So let's have a look then. So red is played vanadium, which I believe is a real element. The only elements that I believe are made up are the W, which is Westernium, the J and the Q. Anyway, so he's going to play the V. He's hoping that he's going to move last, and he's hoping that yellow and black are going to hopefully move and move ahead of him. That was his logic. Black wasn't really sure what to do. So black kind of went for an early-ish card. Remember, if he moves first, although he's in the middle, there's more ships this side of him, and therefore he will move forward. So that's kind of what he's hoping for. And obviously we know that yellow played boron. So yellow moves first. So he goes 1, 2, and he'll skip to there. Then black moves 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And finally, red's plan worked. The other two went ahead of him, so now he can hopscotch, if you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, third round. So now we're right at the back as yellow. And that's not always the worst place to be, especially if you've got your lots of yellow cards. So he definitely doesn't want to play this card unless he thinks somebody's going to miscalculate. Now, black's in an interesting position. He's in the middle again, but again, there's more ships that side, so he's probably going to move forward. Red's got an interesting choice to make as well, because red, if he's got a repulsing card, he might want to play it, although he needs to make sure that it's early enough that black isn't going to kind of leapfrog him, and then he repulses away. But let's deal with yellow first. So yellow probably wants to play fairly late. Do we want to play as late as that? Or do we want to play middle of the road? Because there is a risk, if he plays really late, that red gets it wrong, black gets it wrong. Although we've got the emergency stop. Yeah, we'll play that one. Okay, black is going to go next, or black's going to choose next. So with the logic we decided, he probably wants to move forward. He probably will play something like that one. And then red. Interesting choice for red. Does he take... What cards has he got? Okay, this is interesting. In fact, shall I show you? No, I won't. Okay. Okay. Red has a plan. It's not a great plan. No. Okay, red's gonna do this. Okay. So red has played the first repulsor card. Now it's late on in the alphabet. And the decision was, does he think black's going to leapfrog him or not? And in fact, I got that wrong. I got confused, and that's probably a bad choice. But we'll see what happens. That was black's card, and that was yellow's card. So we know black's going to move first. And we've already decided that although they're equidistant, there's more ships this side because of the derelict, so he's going to move forward 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's that one done. Now X moves. Also, now red moves with the X. And now, unfortunately for red, the nearest ship is now ahead of him. So he's going to repulse away. Now, it's only a 3. So, in fact, he'll take the hit. Just to explain thinking there. So he moved backwards because obviously he repulsed away from the red card. Repulsed away from the black ship. You could think, well, why didn't he play his emergency stop? The reason is he's got some high cards left, and in this game you will move back. You certainly won't move forward every single turn. It's probably not realistic. So he's it's only 3 spaces. He's okay with that. And then obviously yellow activates. Yellow's going to move forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and now yellow steals the lead. So, we're stealing the lead. What are we going to do now? So, choices we've got are again as similar to normal. Do we play the repulsing card? But again, you'll notice from here as well from the board, the repulsing cards are all quite late on in the alphabet. So, do we play that and hope that nobody moves ahead of us, particularly black? Or do we play this, which is lithium again, and hope that black does move before us? I think we will play lithium. We will have a look at red next. Red's right at the back, remember? So red's relatively secure in playing the card he's going to play. So that's red, that's yellow. And now we'll have a look at black. Black hasn't got great cards. Black is going to play that one though. Again, this is probably a bit artificial because I'm playing against myself essentially, which therefore I kind of have an idea of what everyone's going to do. But we'll have a look. So that's red's card. That's black's card. That's yellow's card. And again, if you're playing this yourself, you could probably try and remember what cards people have played, what cards they picked up from the draft, and therefore what cards they might have left. I can't do that and play for 3 players and film at the same time. So I'm kind of flying seat of the pants. So let's resolve. Black goes first with C. So black correctly guessed 1, 2, 3. And already, that wasn't a guess. He already knew that A and B had both gone. He knew he was going to be first. Oh no, I lied. Actually, A hasn't gone. He didn't know that at all, but it was a fair bet. So that was black's movement. Now we come to F, the red. So red clearly can only move one direction, which is forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, straight in the middle. And finally, yellow thankfully moves forward 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 cards left of the round. So we're back to this usual debate of what does yellow do. Okay, yellow has a plan. Yellow has a plan, and I'll explain that plan in a sec. Whether it works or not is another matter, but he has a plan. What does red want to do? What does red want to do? So red's right at the back. He hasn't really got great cards, so he'll play that one. And then what does black want to do? He's going to play that one. Again, no one's used their emergency stop yet, and I reckon that's probably because I'm playing all 3 players. Normally, we probably would have used them by now. So let's have a look. Red has gone for that. And in fact, I said he hasn't got great cards. The other card red's got is that one. So although he knows he's probably going to move forward, he's not going to move far either way. So that's red. That's black. And again, when you see his other card, this is his other card that he's got. He's got a repulsing one. The chances are red's, it was. If he could have played it first, he would have obviously moved in the right direction. Apparently there are loud people outside my hotel room for some strange reason. So excuse you if you can hear that noise. No idea what they're doing. And finally, yellow's gone for this one. Now, why did yellow go for this? I said he had a plan. His plan, looking at the board, was if he plays this one, regardless almost of when he plays it, what's going to happen is this ship is going to move backwards 3 spaces, which is going to put him there. And then next turn, that will be the closest ship, hopefully, when he can rebound off that one. That's his plan, and that's where you can kind of use the derelict ships. Now, whether that works or not is another matter. So, let's see. And in fact, red goes first with 2 spaces. That's 1, that's 2. Then Q comes before T, I believe. It's really embarrassing if I get my alphabet wrong, by the way. So, the tractor beam time. We haven't shown you this yet, so it's good fun to show you. So, remember what happens, and I'm going to move the cards slightly, is we start with the nearest ships and then work outwards. And they're going to move forward 3 spaces. So, we're going to start with red. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do black. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do this one. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do this one. 1, 2, 3. So, although that was a great plan, whether this bit works or not is another matter. But if not, we've already got the emergency stop. And then finally, I forgot whose card this was. That was Black's card, wasn't it? So Black, he's equidistant. And in fact, he's in the middle again because there's 2 ships that side and 2 ships that side. So actually, he doesn't move at all. So that gets wasted. And finally, obviously, it's the last round, so all the players would just essentially throw their cards onto the table because you can't really do much else about it. So we go with A first. Red first, which is A. So red moves back 1 space. Now, although that's 1 space, essentially that'd be all the way back here. And he may as well just play the emergency stop because he can. So again, all we do there, we take the card, we flip it over. That's him used. So that doesn't do anything. Now we come to K. K was Black's card, so he's going to repel off the nearest ship. But because no ships have moved, he's still stuck in the middle there, so that's not going to help him. So that goes. And now, I've never really seen this train before. So now yellow moves. Now, which is the nearest? Well, he's equidistant between these 2. There's more ships this side than there are that side. So this would be the nearest ship, essentially. So he would move backwards. But he's also going to play his emergency stop. And that gets discarded. So, in fact, or is he? Or is he? So what I'm wondering now is, obviously the obvious choice is, well, I've got my emergency stop. I can just flip it over. Now, the problem is, if he does that, the next round, we're going to be in a kind of similar situation. Where yellow's... mind you, yellow could move this way, couldn't he? Yeah, no, he will flip it over. Sometimes it's actually good to be at the back, because then you know which way you're going to move, and you get first draft. He's going to get the first draft anyway, because he's at the back of the ship. Or the back of the player's ships. So he will flip over the emergency stop. So at the end of the round, 2 of the players use emergency stop. Black didn't have to. What's going to happen is, well, I'm going to stop the video here, but what's going to happen is I'm going to shuffle these cards. I'm going to do another draft, which again I won't show you just because it makes it really hard and I'm trying to do it one-handed. And this little guy is going to move to here. Okay, so join me again. We'll start the second round.